5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. How's everybody doing? Good morning. You're on Live with Neve, high in the Highlands. It is a beautiful day in New York. It's going to be about 60 today, and I have a great show coming up. We've got some great guests. We have, of course, our usual Julie, my wonderful and talented assistant, work wife, all-around cool chick. She's going to be handling the boards, talking to everybody. Good morning from Tampa Bay, Jewel Tate, Jewel Bruno. How are you, baby?
I am doing well. Except I'm.
Well, great.
How about you?
God, you look so relaxed and calm. And I'm like, I've had caffeine. I got to sleep about 3 o'clock last night. Then I woke up at 4. I had an hour. I called CVS to see if I could get in to get my COVID shot. Of course, I've shot and missed the basket. That's okay. I'm here. I had a lot of time to get up. It's been such a crazy week for us. Is this not been a really fun week? Haven't we got some cool stuff going on?
I don't know what today is.
You don't? It's Friday. It's fun day. You're here on NPR. Yes, today on NPR, right, otherwise known as Neve Public Radio. We're going to be talking to Julie Bruno, asking her about her life as a bass player, the jabs.
So, first off, sounding like NPR is not going to keep me awake. Secondly, I thought it stood for Neil Perv Radio. I don't know.
What? Don't tell me Dead Neve's walking around again, is he?
No, Neve. I can't even say it now. Never mind.
Oh, okay. This sounds like it's going to be interesting. Well, I know Dead Neve's been spotted roaming around the neighborhood, and I was alive, so I don't know if there's some transmogrification going on. For everybody who doesn't know, we do have our resident spiritual advisor. He gets rid of ghosts, haunts, poltergeists, all that shit. Stuff that goes like that you just can't explain. If you need a poltergeist, dude, they've been telling me that they're going to have to give me a cleansing. Now, I know a couple of my wives, my few former girlfriends, they've all said the same thing. I'm pretty far gone. So we're going to have to I hope Spiro's out watching. I haven't looked at the comments yet. I don't know who's out there, but it's time. They got to get in here. And I don't know, there's some bad juju going up here on the mountain. So tell me, how is it in Florida? What's going on? Your weather like supremely killer today, or have you even been outside?
No, it was like 76, and then I think it was 80 earlier this week. And I was like, oh crap.
Wow. Well, I have to tell you, I actually feel better. I can kind of gloat. I'm going to gloat. It's only like 60 out, kind of overcast. Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, I'm ready to go outside, get my shirt off. Hell, I jump up on the roof and sunbathe all my naughty bits where nobody can see.
You are one brave soul. I do want to be you when I grow up.
Yes, you do. Everybody wants to be Neve. I have a great life. I have more fun than anybody I know, except for you. And tell me, is Mike going to be on with us in spirit? Has he sent us a track?
Yes.
But don't go there yet.
Okay,
but hold on. I want to talk a little bit about Mike. I also want to tell everybody, today's guest is Tommy Grasso. Tommy is just a really cool guy. I'm fortunate to have him for a friend. Everybody here in the Asbury Park in New York and actually we have history in Florida at Pinellas Park. Let me think, it was the Rocket Club, I believe. He used to play at one of my old stomping, and I've had a lot of fun there, so they tell me. The 80s are a little bit blurry, especially the mid part of it. Things were fun, and there was no cell phone cameras, and God, I was in my glory. I was having a good time.
No way to have any evidence whatsoever. That's awesome.
That's right. And the evidence, it's all just anecdotal now. So if anybody says anything, if you've heard any stories about me, first off, depending on truth is, probably most of them are wrong. And the truth is, they probably left out all the really fun parts because some of this shit had to remain. I don't kiss and tell, and I don't rat my friends out. I have so many friends that we've been In the music business, what stays in the band, what happens in the band stays with the band. And I know it's like some guys say, well, bros before hoes, but no, if you're in a band, I don't care who you are, where you come from, what your sex, what you see and witness. Nowadays, you have to have somebody sign a release. Remember, don't look at Mr. Van Erty. Unless he talks to you, please scurry around and look in awe of him. You have to have this whole pro forma for your helpers, or as we call our interns affectionately, everybody, don't get upset. Please, no fainting goats this morning. I'm not in the mood for it. It's been a tough week. I'm just not going to have it. Please, if we say something that offends you, and in fact, let's just get the disclaimer out of the way. We have a few minutes before we bring them on. If you watch the show, you're here to have fun. You're not here to talk about politics. You're not here to talk about any bullshit like that. We're not going to put up with it. All we want to do is talk about Tommy's music and what a kick-ass writer and producer he is. I want to talk to him a little bit because he's got the inside scoop on what's going on in Broadway, I'm sure, because he's seriously hooked up, whereas I'm not. He is kind of my link to Broadway, so I'm hoping he can kind of tell me what's going on. I know there's a lot of shows opening up, and I'm actually auditioning for a part in a movie as a jazz drummer who's blind, which I'm just digging the fact that I can go on and play some Oscar Peterson, do the Stevie Wonder vibe. I'll be like, and I say that because I have to try to remember to keep my eyes open and do a blindism, which is harder than it thinks. I mean, if you've ever seen a blind person, it's difficult to act that out. And I'm going to probably do the cheap way, put on my sunglasses, but otherwise, I'll just kind of be like, any rate, enough of that. My neighbors are probably terrified. I've added a new element, the cajon, to the show. That is a scary instrument in the wrong hands. A good buddy of mine, our former bass player, he's a good buddy of mine. I haven't heard from in a while, but that's okay. Ant Barrett, it took me a second. I am old and I haven't had enough caffeine, but Ant-Man gave me this box. See, look at this. I'm sitting on it. For those of you who don't know what the cajon is, the cajon is a Latin American instrument that a lot of bands and sometimes annoying street performers seem to prefer. I've seen them under bucket guys, and I know I'm supposed to be all supportive of all musicians, but I'll tell you what, if I've played 4 sets and I walk out of the club and there's a bucket guy, I don't care if he's the son of Buddy Rich. I'll hand him a 20 and ask him just to take a break while I take mine, because, the sound of cajones, too many cajones in the wrong hands can kill. But in my skilled hands, you'll just hear its dulcet tones. Julie, Toby Juan Kenobi is joining us. Toby, it's great to have you. For everybody watching, Toby is our gal on the street in LA. Toby Simmons, she is hooked up, she's connected, and we just love her to death. She's part of the Live with Neve team and cast. It's early out in LA right now.
Yep. And speaking of cast, we've got Mike and Spirit standing by.
Oh, right. Very good. Very good. Also, for everybody watching, we have a special tribute at the end of the show. We're going to be talking about my friend Lenny Emery from Florida and the deserts of out west. I believe the last time I talked to him, they're in Nevada. Unfortunately, he had an untimely demise, and I just found out about it last night. He has a great family. And Julie, when I talked to you about it, I don't even think you remembered that session, but you sang on a bunch of it. I recall you, and I remember mixing the tracks. In fact, when I read the credits on the album, I noticed several of our cohorts were kind of missing, but I know they were in the sessions. So back in I'm going to say it was about 94 or 5-ish. Not positive, those days were also
like 98-ish, I think.
Was it 98-ish? Okay. Well, maybe no, I think it was a year before that, because I put him on.
Okay.
Yeah, I put him on. Him and I recorded in 96, and we put him on the 97 Across Tampa Bay album, which I'm going to be re-releasing, along with when I write my book. I'm going to quit pitching my shit here in a minute, guys. I'm working on a book called Across Tampa Bay, the music and history of the Tampa Bay area from 1960 to the present. I've got a ton of great people on it. Lenny's going to be included in it. It's going to tell everything but the naughty bits. I'll save those for my tell-all biography after this goes famous. But I promise, I'm not writing any bullshit like that. My book is so boring. The musical history of Tampa Bay is way more cool than anything I've done, unless you're just into the dirt. So, how about, do we have Mike standing by?
Yep, Mike's ready to go.
Let's let him roll.
All right. See ya.
All right, guys. Today's rant is basically for the men. I mean, the women need to hear this because it's all about relationships. So I'm laying last night, I'm pondering, why do men need to be in a relationship? Do we really need it? Yes. And when I get to the end of the rant, you'll know exactly why. Is it for companionship? No. Get a pet. Get a pet. You got all your companionship you need. Do you need somebody to cook for you? No. Go to your mother's house or an aunt's house or go out to eat. End of story. Do you need somebody to talk to? Do like I do. Talk to yourself. And if that doesn't work, get a parrot or a minor bird. Housekeeping. No. You can hire a maid, come in every other week and freaking clean your house for $80. End of story. You don't need a... Is it for friendship? No. Anybody out there, any person can get 5,000 friends on Facebook, because that's the limit. So anybody that wants can go out there and get 5,000 friends. Do you need a driver somewhere? Get Uber. So you don't need it for companionship. You don't need it for cooking. You don't need it for talking to somebody, housekeeping, friendship. You don't need a driver. Do you need it to have kids? No. Adopt. Go play with your nieces and nephews for the day and then drop them back off. Now, so what about sex? What about sex? Go on Tinder, any of those friggin', well, go on Tinder and one of those sites where all the people want us to just get laid. Now, so you say, well, if you don't need companionship, cooking, sex, somebody to talk to, housekeeping, friendship, or have kids, what the hell do you need to be in a relationship for? Since the caveman days, men have never been wrong, ever. We don't make mistakes. We're perfect. So for that reason, we need someone to blame. That's where the woman comes in. Everything we do that could possibly be wrong is their fault because we don't make mistakes. You know, and it used to be you screamed at them when you were driving with directions, but now you got the GPS to scream at. So you don't need it for that. I tell my GPS to go fuck itself all the time.
Oh my.
But now, that's it, because we've never been wrong. I've never made a mistake in my life, because I will find somebody to blame. And the person that you're going to blame is the one you're in a relationship with. That's their sole purpose. So you have somebody to blame for everything that goes wrong, because it's not our fault. Oh no, we're perfect. Never made a mistake. So that's why you'll see that really the main reason for being in a long-term relationship, or short-term for that matter, or even hanging out with somebody for the day, is because you're not making any mistakes. They did it. It's their fault. They don't even have to be in the same room as you. If you knock a soda over, it's their freaking fault. If you break something, if you drop a glass, it's their fault, not yours. So this way, now you know what a relationship is about. Now you know what marriage is going to be about. He don't need you for anything except blaming you for anything that he possibly does. So men, we know we've been right since the beginning of time. We know we'll never make a mistake. It will always be the woman's fault. End of rant.
All right, everybody. How about it? You know, I always ask Mike if he needs meds, but I think the question is really, Jules, who needs the medication? I think Angie needs the medication.
Right. After what?
I mean, seriously, Mike, I'm concerned. I can, and I'm sitting here. I have like a slingshot with a Xanax in it, and I'm going to sit across the stage from him next time we're live. And if he opens up, I'm going to say, and if you see it starting to stress out and melt out, I'm going to have one of the techs shoot another couple of them. The poor man's going to have a stroke. He really is.
I want to say is now I see. This is why I'm going through divorce. Is because, and I guess that's why I'm in therapy. It's because everything's a woman's fault all the time. Thank you, Mike. You just saved me so much time.
No, it's really not the woman's fault. It's the bass player's fault.
Oh, that's
always. Remember that? I mean, seriously.
It's a mountain that's just dropping every single day.
I know this poor woman has to put up with my relentless abuse, and I know that her and Gloria Allard are even now drawing up one whopper of a sexual harassment suit. Gloria Allard, she's this woman who has a really annoying voice, and we're going to get all upset about the frenzy of the day. My God, talk about shooting a Xanax into her mouth. And so I'd have to leave. That's the kind of woman, the way her voice is, that if you ever
Yeah.
slept with her for one night,
Oh, Jesus.
she was asleep, you'd chew your arm off to get out of bed without waking her ass up, because that woman's voice within 2 minutes, first off, there will be no physical activity possible in any man. It'll just be like one of these deals. Then it'll retract and it'll disappear. Her voice is horrendous. And with everybody thinking about that great visual, we're going to take a break. We're going to roll up. We got Tommy Grasso coming on. We're going to talk music, get away from all the metaphysical things. Spear's on standby for a cleansing. So let's go to a break and bring on Tommy. Stick around, 1/2 with Live with Neve. I'm Neil from Live with Neve. We have an exciting connection for our veterans, country music fans, and there is something for everyone. Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. That's right, we've partnered with Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. See you soon. All right, everybody. My upcoming single, a Leonard Cohen song called First We'll Take Manhattan, covered by many others, covered by me. Hopefully you'll want to buy it. We're working on the video now. I've got one verse that has not been corrected, but I will tell you there's no auto-tune, auto-correction brand. There's no granola. There is no tofu. It's just purebred American grain-fed beef. So, speaking of that, man, we got a great guest coming up. It is 1/2 here in New York. It is in the 60s, and we have an excellent entertainer. I'm just going to ask him the questions and let him talk. I know you need a break from me. So here we go. I also see we have Marilyn Emery's in our green room. Hi, guys. We're going to be talking to them at 10:45 about my good friend Lenny, who's passed away, and we're just going to have some nice words. And we're glad you made it in, guys. So I can see you down there. You're not on set. Nobody can see you. So Tommy, Julie, you want to bring Tommy on and let's get talking some rock and roll here. All right, there he is. The man, the myth, the legend, Tommy Grasso. Peace,
What's
everybody.
up, people? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, I reckon you're about 1/4 mile from me as the crow flies. You can probably hear my guitar when I crank it up.
I heard you playing the cajon this morning.
Yes.
I had to shut my window.
Yeah, right. That's what I get for making drummer jokes, man. And you know what? How about a drummer joke everybody can appreciate? You have a good drummer joke for us?
Well, actually, you were talking about bass players when I was in the green room, and you mentioned that Aunt Barrett gave you that cajon. And
Yes.
Aunt's played many gigs with me.
I know he has. I know. Actually, how I met you through Aunt, because you showed up at one of our gigs one night, and I don't know. It was a long time ago. I was still sort of in an alcoholic haze, which is lifted, thankfully. But I remember the first time I met you being pretty buzzed.
I'm in one right now. An alcoholic haze.
Actually, I started. I fell off the wagon today. I got my old vodka bottle back, and I'm just swigging it, man.
Actually, it's not funny. Not anything to joke about.
Well, but you know what? If I didn't joke about my fun times and reckless things I've done, I'd go out of my mind worrying about it. And I don't worry about it. It was fun at the time. I did some stupid shit, which I'll never redo again. And hell, everybody else was laughing at me back then. So now I might as well join in the laugh. Life's party. That was then. And so how you doing, man? You going bored? You still crazy and stuck?
Uh, I've shifted gears. I mean, there's a certain amount of cabin fever I think everybody's going through,
Sure.
but I'm cranking out tunes and trying to have something to show for all this extra time that we've been given.
Sure, sure. Hey, I have to ask you, is that a Lab Series amp I see behind you, or is that a Fender Twin with a black face?
Well, let me tell you what I've got back here. I've got a Bandmaster,
Right.
Fender Bandmaster. I've got
That's what it is. Okay.
a Fender Vibraverb,
Oh, very nice.
a Bugera,
I
which
love
is kind of
those
like a
too.
little
Yeah,
practice
they're
amp,
a great little screamer.
and a JCM 900 Marshall.
Very cool. Very cool.
That's
Well,
what's in that's what's in the immediate proximity.
yes, yes. Well, that's cool. Well, I know you've got a whole bunch of good instruments in your arsenal, so to speak. Um, Tell me, what's your favorite? What's your go-to X when you're just playing, knocking a gig around town? What's your go-to guitar?
Um, if it's you mean like for a solo
Or like,
acoustic,
yeah, solo acoustic guitar. What are you playing these days?
well,
The Guild?
I've got a Guild with behind me here, and I also have my Gibson Artist. That's
Oh yeah, very
kind of
nice.
what we like to do. If
Cool.
if it's more of a duo or a band thing, then we have to have the discussion again. What's the right
Mhm.
guitar for the gig, right?
Sure, of course. Well, I feel that you never have enough guitars, no matter what. I know in my house, occasionally over the decades, I've have a bunch of guitars stacked up, and I'll buy one, and I happen to forget that I didn't tell my girlfriend about it like 6 months ago, and I'll pull it out, and she goes, "Is that yours?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I bought it like a year ago." And she's like,
I've always had this. I've always had this.
"Well, here's my story, and I'm sticking to it. When you leave a bunch of guitars like up in my loft, and there's like 6 or 7 of them, if you just don't go up there for a while, they make babies. You go up, and all of a sudden, there's just this old, Les Paul or an SG just turns up, and over time, you forget what's up there, and you just never know. But at any rate, it's a common problem with musicians, and I don't encourage anybody. I don't lie to my girlfriend. She doesn't give me any crap about guitar buys. I'm just making shit up here, but it's a fun story anyway.
There you
So,
go.
you've got some new songs. I heard Reset last time we talked. Is that going to be the title of your project?
Well, that's kind of the title of the year, I think.
I think so.
It
Yeah.
it came about early in the pandemic. I started thinking
Mhm.
about that concept, and it turned into a song. It turned into a video. It's on YouTube, and it's on all those streaming platforms available for the world to check out. And I hope people check out Tommy Grasso Reset, because it really
Hell
kind of
yeah.
takes you along the last year or so, and what we've
Mhm.
all been going through, and somehow gets your toe tapping along the way a little bit too, from
For
what I've been
sure.
told. So
Well, I thought so. I've only heard it when you first wrote it. I mean, it's been a while, and I look forward to hearing that. And what else have you got off that project? Is it a similar theme type of stuff, or you have some more just your upbeat Tommy Grasso rock the house down kind of stuff?
that's basically what it is. Yeah.
Cool. Who's playing drums for you now?
Well, since we're not really doing live shows, I'm doing most of the drumming on the
Um,
recordings.
right,
And
right.
I've got Matt Vanderend.
Oh, okay, good guy.
Yeah, he's from the West Coast, up Northern California, but he's been a New York guy for quite some time, and he's also the drummer on the Broadway show Wicked.
Oh, okay, great, excellent
But
player.
again, being that Broadway has been shut down for a year, he's not
Yeah,
doing that right now, and has lots of time to send me files. I'll send him a song, he'll send me the files, and
very
we'll make
cool.
it happen.
That's excellent. I think that's been a great learning experience for all of us. I know some folks have been doing this for decades, but in my case, I've been doing it, but just when I had to. Whereas when COVID struck, I really had to get up to speed and quick. I had some friends who walked me through the process, and you're off to the races once you realize how simple it is. But
I mean, there's nothing better than being in the same room with a bunch of your friends
sure,
playing music.
right,
But if we can't do that, we still have to make the music and make it happen. So
absolutely,
learning how to do that has been a process too. So
absolutely,
so
absolutely.
And now, when we get to the other side of this thing, we'll all have that opportunity and availability to make music that way as well. So
I'd suggest everybody have 2 records ready for when you go out. That way you have one done that everybody's digging, and you have another one ready to pop right out as soon as the tour's over, and then you can start. Hopefully by then we'll really have a reset where we get into some kind of a yearly rhythm or bi-yearly rhythm. But hey, listen, we're going to go to a break soon, but I want you to play a song. Play us something good.
sure.
Tell us what you're going to play.
Why don't we play Reset?
That sounds great.
I'll play Reset.
Wonderful. All right, everybody.
Are we ready to do it now?
Sure, let's rock and roll.
All right. My buddy right here.
Ah, yes, a beautiful thing it is.
You got that guitar? Maybe we can get back to the basics. Just a thought. We got a situation here, we've all got to face it. Just a thought. Well, every day so many smiles are lost among our faces. Just a thought. So much trouble's jumping out in so many places. Here's a thought. Somebody at the reset. We need a reset. What it comes down to. Everybody at the reset. Take some time doing nothing. Just the folks you love and you. Well, I could be a player if we all can be a team. Just a thought. Open eyes can see a world just bigger to be seen. That's food for thought. Well, maybe we'll awaken. This has all been a dream. Wishful thought. Something's gotta give when everything is so extreme. Just a thought. Somebody at the reset. We need a reset. What it comes down to. Everybody at the reset. Take some time doing nothing. Just the folks you love and you. Somebody at the reset. We need a reset. A reset. Yeah. Everybody at the reset. We need a reset. Reset. Hey. We all try to spin it, but we've been scheduled to the minute. We never would admit it, but we've been running pretty low. So take some time, just you and me. Let's recharge the battery. Cranking up some Motown on the radio. Boom, 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 boom. Shut it down, go home today. There won't be any show. Such a sad thought. We couldn't dream this up even a year ago.
The fuck?
That's the crazy thought. So things won't be the way that they were for a while. Turn back the dial. For now we wear a mask, but don't forget how to smile. And get caught, yeah, let them see you smile. Somebody at the reset. We need a reset. What it comes down to. Everybody at the reset. Take some time doing nothing. Just the folks you love and you. Everybody at the reset. We need a reset. A reset, yeah. Everybody at the reset. It's a downtime that we can never seem to find. We lost connection, just reset connection. Amazing the effect when we all connect. Reset that thing, yeah. Unplug that thing. Just plug it back in. Yeah, plug it back in. Everybody hit the reset. We need a reset. Reset. There you have
All
it.
right, man. How about it? Okay, everybody, we're going to go to a break real quick. Tommy, great tune. I can't wait to talk to you and hear some more stuff. We have Tommy Grasso. We're half past the hour on Live with Neve. We're going to go to a break and...
Here we are at the base of the old bridge. It was washed out in 1990, forcing them to build a brand new bridge. We were very close to the spot where Bill Skeeto was hung back in December 3rd, 1864. We will go explore that spot shortly. We just wanted to show you the base of the bridge that forced them to cover up the hole with tons and tons of cement and rocks.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve, Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? That was Tommy Grasso just a few minutes ago. How about kicking ass on that? It's his new song from his new project, Reset. Tommy's going to be back right on. I just have to tell you, great stuff. And if you get a chance, please go to his site, Tommy Grasso. You can find him. If you Google him, he'll come up. He's got lots of great stuff. And you don't have to buy some old new stuff. Buy some old stuff. In fact, for everybody watching, if you have a musician or a show you like to watch, hell, send me a tip, send Julie a tip. Anybody who's out there doing something creative for a living. Everybody always talks about supporting live music. And right now, the best thing anybody can do is throw a $5 bill to anybody out there. Hey, Jules.
Hey, can I ask where's the tip jar? How do people do that? How do people?
The tip jar is Live with Neve. Okay, you see crawling. It's PayPal me/Live with Neve. Again, PayPal/Live with Neve. And we'll I'll tell you what, if you send us something, we'll send you some swag. It can be anything. In fact, if there's something you have a price you want us to do for a donation, we might start a whole new trend. Try and stump Julie or stump the band. Anyway, enough about stumping the band.
Without sounding like a prostitute.
No, we would never encourage. Now, what is the difference between a prostitute and a politician? There isn't any. So let's get on to Tommy Grasso, okay? Let's get on to some rock and roll. There ain't no difference. Bring him on. Come on up here, Tommy. Where you at, man? I trust him a hell of a lot more than politicians, let me tell you. He actually knows how to tune a guitar, which I'd pay $1,000 for the first one who could probably do that. I can only think of one, and he's kind of a bass playing guy who's a Bible thumper. Other than that. But
I promise you I'll tune the guitar.
Oh, I know you will. Always.
Now I'm the politician because I made a promise, right?
Wow. I promise you that I won't lie about the state of your tuning.
I promise to tune my guitar.
Well, excellent. So tell me, do you have any gigs in the short term coming up? You got some knockoffs coming?
Well, I've been doing live streaming, which you can find.
Sure, I've seen those shows.
TommyGrasso.com, and my streams are all listed there and how to get the links and so forth. But and there's a lot of other things. I have a blog on TommyGrasso.com, and also the Facebook page is Tommy Grasso Music Channel, which has a lot of information via Tommy. So you can find me pretty easily that way. And I hope you do check out some videos, and the folks out there Googling my YouTube channel as well. So yeah, there's lots of video and lots of audio, and I'm currently creating a children's album.
Wonderful. I was going to ask you, how old's your boy now?
He's 6.
Wow.
and he sings, and he's very inspirational in terms of coming up with titles for the children's songs. So,
I'll bet. I'll bet. That's such a fun age.
and you can't see it right now, but I'm sitting in the midst of a Lincoln Logs village.
Oh yes. Okay, I got it. My son used to have what we called the Dino Army, and we would set up like hundreds of dinosaurs and then crash my Basset down through the piles.
Yeah.
There you go. But
Yeah, so-
yeah, they're a lot of fun at that age. That's cool. He's a good-looking boy like his dad, and I know you're a good dad. And, hell, man, kid's got a great life.
That,
He's right here.
I wish I could pan over so you could see it, because the Lincoln Log Village is just to the left of the kick drum mic.
Oh, okay. Actually, you can use that when you're playing. You can just sort of kick the kick drum.
Exactly.
Downbeat. Well, hell, you want to play another song for us?
Sure. If you're gonna keep yelling at me like that, why not?
Hell, man, I want to hear you. Everybody's sick of hearing me talk. They get that shit all the time.
I promise you, I tuned this thing, so now I better.
Oh, it sounds like we're gonna sing some Who there for a second.
All right, so are we ready to do this now, or?
We certainly are, man. We got thousands of fans worldwide just waiting on our every breath.
This is a song which was on my last full-length CD called "Which Way Is Up," and it's available on all your online favorite streaming platforms. This is a song called Two Streets. It was produced by Scott Metaxas of Prophet and Edgar Casey fame. And he also played bass and sang backing vocals on it. And we had Jimmy Callahan playing drums, who was also from Prophet. So Arna Went played keys on it. I think you know Arna.
I do.
He's one of Bon Jovi's keyboard players, and from the Kings of Suburbia. So
killer.
It's called Two Streets. It goes like this. Well, I've been walking through this nameless crowd. I see those eyes of yours, your face is all around. Put it all together, put it back in my head. Again and again, last time I saw you, what happened and just what was said. Two streets and an avenue, I'm walking till I lay my eyes on you. And it's been so long since I've seen her, hope I know what to say and do. Two streets and an avenue, I'll be face to face with you. You know this city bring out a need in you to survive. Well, are you gonna stand and fight? Will it eat you up alive? Okay, I'm back in the neighborhood and it feels so good. Blow all the neon lights, ducking into the hallway of our old cafe, where everything seems so right. Two streets and an avenue, I'm walking till I lay my eyes on you. And it's been so long since I've seen her, hope I know what to say and do. Two streets and an avenue, I'll be face to face with you. We had it all those days, but we let it slip away. Our fire burned so bright, couldn't keep the flame alive. Come on. I've been thinking about things I've learned, how it used to burn. Been thinking about wasted time, now the light begins to turn. So now we're just friends, but now and again, as I'm walking down the avenue, I see your face, remember a place, and suddenly I'm walking with you. Two streets and an avenue, I'm walking till I lay my eyes on you. And it's been so long since I've seen her, hope I know what to say and do. Two streets and an avenue, I'll be face to face with you. I'm walking 2 streets and an avenue, I'll be face to face with you. Still walking 2 streets and an avenue, I'll be face to face with you. I keep on walking through this nameless crowd. There you go, 2 streets.
Boy, that sounded dreadful through the. I felt it from your studio and my headphones. It sounded like this. It's like an earthquake. Were you here when we had that earthquake about a year or 2 ago? Were you here on the hill?
Yeah.
It was very strange.
That was me starting my lawnmower.
I figured. I thought it was you turning up your PA with the subwoofers, but it was a really strange feeling that day because being a drummer for all these years, I'm very aware of where my hearing deficits are. In fact, you might call me the best ears in the world, or you might call me roadkill, depending on if I'm standing around or not. And that day, when I've had my hearing tested, though, I always had very acute hearing, above average, until I abused it for 50 years now of playing. But I go and have my hearing checked, and I pay very careful attention to where my deficits are so I can kind of have a mental framework of how to compensate or not compensate when doing a mix, for example. And I do a lot of, like, somebody says, I want it to sound like Steely Dan, I'll A-B what I'm doing and use that as a reference so that I kind of have some reference to work with compared to my frequency response. And most of the time people don't ever go, oh my God, it's so brash or high that, it's blown me away. I've done it a long time. So I'm kind of used to it. You accommodate your infirmities, if you will. That day, the whole hill, I heard this just really low rumble. And I want to say, like, for you audio geeks, like around 40 hertz or below. It was almost subsonic. And it just I felt one in California before. And it was just very strange because I didn't know what it was. Here I'm in New Jersey. I never envisioned that. And then I'm looking on, all of a sudden the TV, 4.3 earthquake here. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm in New Jersey. And right here on the hill, we're kind of in the region of the epicenter, which is odd. But that was pretty cool. And I just had to say, it sounded like this thing feeding back, but I digress. This little audio exercise for everybody. So today, what are you doing tonight? You got a gig? You got to do anything around?
I've got a mix up on the board right now that I'm working on.
Cool.
It's a brand new song that's it's not complete yet. So maybe on the next time around we can get to that one.
Cool.
But it's called Heartbeat, and I hope to have it out within the next couple weeks.
Am I mistaken, or did we talk about this a long time ago? Did you use the neonatal birth rate of your son, or was that someone else I was talking about who had a song?
That's actually, I have that sample.
But was it you who told me about you were using it for a song? Because I don't remember. It was a long time ago. That's the song.
This is the song.
Wow, man, that's like 2 years ago. I was pretty liquored up that night. I wasn't as bad as everybody thought.
It's a long time coming because he wasn't even born yet. It was his heartbeat in the womb, and it's been an inspiration for the song ever since he's been born, and like getting back to talking about the pandemic and having some time to actually get some things done that you've been thinking about for a long time.
Sure,
it's coming to fruition at this point, and I'm pretty excited about this next song, which is going to be done pretty soon.
All right. Well, everybody, Tommy Grasso at TommyGrasso.com. Everybody out there, please go buy some stuff, man. The guy looks like he's starving. I mean, he's falling away to nothing. You got to come to my house when mom's here. Manja.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Well, listen, here we are. It's 1:15. We're calling Live with Neve from New York. And Tommy, we'll see you next time. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to be bringing up my friend Marilyn Emery to talk about Wendy, a good buddy of mine who's sadly passed away. And we can't wait to talk to her. Let's roll it out. Hi, everybody. Neve from Live with Neve. We're just having a little fun driver here. So please PayPal me / at Live with Neve.
I'm Gabrielle Metz, and I'm on Live with Neve.
All right. How's everybody doing? How about Tommy Grasso, man? He's great. A little fireball in the morning, too. He's way more awake and alert than I am. I know that 2 or 3 in the morning, I was talking to Toby, and somewhere around 4 o'clock, I know I got 2 hours sleep last night, and I'm just a little tired, but this is kind of, we're going to shift gears a little bit. I'm going to tell a little story for a moment and introduce you to some of my friends. Sometime in the mid-'90s, and I believe it was around 96, late 96, I had a studio with my keyboard player from the Shakes. It was called A Shake Recording. And we did a lot of rhythm section tracking for various bands. We did production for really any kind of project that came our way. We were pretty lean and mean, and we didn't believe in turning away and on people's dreams. And I still don't recall how Lenny found me. I believe he answered, I used to spend a tremendous amount of money on ads in the Yellow Pages and music magazines, Jam Music Magazine, Creative Loafing, Music. Anyhow, I'm pretty sure that Lenny found me that way, and he called me up, and I remember he came out and we talked, and I just said to him, what do you want to do here? And he told me. We talked about music, and we kind of knew that we liked a lot of the same things. And Lenny, I'm going to say this, and I'm not just saying this because he's passed, because it's one of the albums I've worked on in my life that didn't blow up, and Lenny didn't get millions of dollars, and I didn't make millions of dollars either. We all made some money off it, and I hope he did well at his gigs selling it. I imagine he did. Everybody that was on that project, everybody that I brought into it, we all really loved doing the project. It switched over from being just a gig and a piece of sausage at the music factory to becoming more of a friendship basis. And it got really good to the point because the essence of a recording relationship is trust. And it took a while. You have to learn how to accept each other's quirks and things like that. And after a while, Lenny we got into a rhythm of how we recorded. And it was just a real easy flow. It was like, I could just describe it as like when you get up in the morning, you make a cup of tea or a pot of coffee. We just started to know how to work together. I could start to pick up on what he was going to like or not like. You have to have a measuring stick when you're working with somebody, either as a producer or an engineer, because those roles merge back and forth. Lenny produced the album, but I know if he was here, we had met a lot of people that helped him produce, in particular, small sections of it. But I know Jerry Outlaw, I had him brought in as lead guitar for the project, and he was just unbelievable. And I played the tape for Lenny, and he was like, oh, we got to have that guy. And I remember, and it's been so long, and I haven't had time to re-listen to the album except today, this morning. I had it on while I was getting ready for the show. And he played some amazing flamenco or steel nylon string guitar on it. My co-host, Julie, also sang on it. She did not recall this when I mentioned it. I called her after I talked to Marilyn, and Julie said, I don't remember. And I went, well, you were there, but you were there for a lot of sessions, so I'm not knocking you. It really was a sausage factory. I'm not quite sure how you even ended up I just know you were around those years. Everybody was coming and going, a lot of cross-pollination going. So for anybody who is hearing this for the first time, who was there at the projects, we're going to miss the hell out of Lenny. I'm sorry. He's the kind of friend that you didn't have to talk to every week. He didn't really talk. I talked more to his wife in the past 10 years than I ever talked to him. I'd ask her, I'd get a cryptic response from him. I'm good. That was it. But I talked to her regularly, and we'd share different articles, things that we found interesting. And so I'm kind of bummed to have him here, but I'm also glad to be able to sit here and talk about Lenny, because he was really a fun guy. And let's just bring everybody on. He's got a great family. Hey guys, let me, there we go. How are you?
Hey Neil, it's good to see you again.
Oh man, it's great to see you again. The last time I saw you, I was looking down at you, and now I'm afraid I know you're a black belt. You just whip the hell out of me. You give me one of those kung fu moves, and I'll wake up in a bad hurt somewhere. But how's life, man? Your kid, how old's your boy now?
Man, 8 now, 7 maybe.
Jesus. Wow.
I can't keep
up. My son, who was born around the time we were recording, he's now 18 this year. He's 6'4". Wow. He's a strapping young man. In fact, his idea of lunch is like a 2-pack of hot dogs, like just gone. The kid's a wolf. Are you still here in New York?
No. I'm out in New Mexico. I'm in Florida right now.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, the world got a little crazy, so I got out of New York for a while.
Good for you. I'm planning my escape back down. In fact, if you're out in the desert, maybe I'll come out and hang with you on my next trip out west.
Play
It's a
some music.
wonderful place. It is. It's a very special place in the desert that people have not been out there. They just like it's desert and it's dead. Marilyn, are you getting a little hot, love? Are you getting a little hot, Marilyn? Hi, love.
It's hot. It's really hot. It's
Florida.
beautiful.
Oh,
yeah,
I know it is.
Thank you for having us in your show. This is
Oh,
great.
I'm just so glad that. Hi, how are you? Is that your wife? Is that your wife?
No, I'm Lenny's daughter.
You're Lenny's daughter. Okay, I'm sorry. I had. It's been a long time, so forgive me. Well, what have y'all been doing? First off, let me just start by saying this. I'm really sorry, guys. When I heard that last night, it just really, like I said about your dad, he was always the kind of friend I just knew he was out there. And if we ever hooked up, it'd be like, just let me sit down. We could start a record tomorrow and just be working. It'd be like getting on a bike, He was such a natural songwriter. But how about you guys just tell me? I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to ask you, let's talk about your dad and your husband. What was the essence of Lenny? I'll tell you afterwards what I think it was. And I think you guys are a great big part of it because you're such a great family. And I know he loved you and you're just the best. I mean, so I'm going to give you the mic and let's let you talk a little bit about this.
Well, I could say a couple things about my father. Musically, I believe him to be a real musical genius and a fantastic songwriter. And he inspired every person he would ever come across his entire life, and anybody who would even walk his path, from rich to poor, would be so inspired by him and what he had to say and his music.
Absolutely.
And as a human being, like, not just because he's my father, he was the best man I've ever known.
Yes.
On the inside and with his heart, like, literally the best man I've ever known. I wish I could be as good as him.
I think
Not
I've
only
watched you from
but just from the inside.
I think your dad's really proud. I've watched you from afar, and you were a young guy when I knew you, and I'm proud just as like a crazy uncle you might have out there. I've watched your development, and I really was bummed we've never gotten to hook up when you're in the city because I'm all over everywhere up here. And that said, I've always admired your family. I have to say, Marilyn. I could always tell how much you and Lenny were in love, always, from the first time I met you, and I never doubted. And I have to tell you, I do think he was one of the greatest people I've met, and songwriter. So, Nikki, tell us a little, Nikki, about your dad. They say that your father is your imprint for all future role models. So, tell me a little bit about your. Are you married, and would you marry someone like your father?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be honest with you. When we were growing up, I grew up with my dad playing music and my mom cooking breakfast and life in the home. And my dad was always the foundation and the rock. And he was always solid and there for my mom. And their love is something that people should aspire to strive after. And I did choose somebody who I feel is solid for my family. And is able to go out west with my family and hang with them and be a good man. It's hard for me to think of my dad being gone because he is the foundation and the glue of everything. And I think that right now we're all feeling this unsettlement, but I think it's okay because we come from him and we're going to ground ourselves down and become solid for our family.
Well, I know he'd like that. And, I have to tell you guys something. What you just said kind of, as this conversation, it's been a long time since we just sat and talked or hung out or, I used to have a pretty rough edge back in my younger days that's mellowed a lot with age. I'm a drummer and we tend to be we're always known as the quiet type. Not. Lenny took an edge off my cynicism back then. This is 20 years ago because he would just look at me and he'd go, Neil, what do you I can't remember how he put it. He'd like, What's up with you today? Why are you so pissed off? I'd be like, I'm not really pissed off. I'm just funning around. But he was a little more gentle in how he would approach things than I am, or was. It was a lesson learned that as I watched you guys after, I've seen you more apart and watched from our Facebook communication. And I know he had to be proud watching your career in art develop and your career in the martial arts. And I have to say, I was like, oh man, this is what a great family. I felt like I was watching my nephews or my cousins or somebody doing it.
Aww.
And I'm glad you're here and we can talk and share. Sorry, I'm going to antagonize the dog. My neighbor is going to shoot me any time now. It's bad enough I don't have the drum set, but the cone in the wrong hands is like a death sentence. So, did Lenny have any music at the end that he was working on that he didn't finish? What was the last thing he had been working on? I know
we were just about to record an album. We had plans to record another album literally next month,
Oh, man.
Yeah, so there's a whole new set of songs. Some were political, some are spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just getting ready to record. And I have some of his rough recordings.
Great.
That I'm really happy that we have that, And
I bet you are.
I have his guitar now, so I'm going to kind of pick up the torch and keep the music going.
Well, listen, you've always got to, if anything you ever need from me, man, your family, and that's all I can say. Just pick up the phone. Family is a favor anytime you need it. So I'm here. And if you're ever
still playing those drums, Neil?
Hell yeah, I'm playing those drums. I'm going to be 60 this year, and I've been playing drums since I was 7 or 8. So I've been doing it a long time, and I can't get it out of my DNA. It's kept me sane. It's kept me happy when I've been miserable. It's made me miserable when I'm happy. It's just part of my life, and I wouldn't trade a bit of it. God, you guys, you look so hot, Marilyn. I'm sorry. The heat is killing you guys. Listen,
we're setting up today. We're having my dad's memorial out here on my property tomorrow. And we have a stage that was built for my wedding. My dad and my brothers helped build. And we're going to be playing a movie, a tribute to my dad that Blake put together. And
Great.
We're setting up the tables and the chairs and getting it all the lighting done today. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful tribute to my dad.
And lots of music.
I know. I really wish I could be there. It's really a bummer because I know it would be a great time. And listen, I want to tell you something. I have a very special friend. We're almost running out of time, but I have a very special friend of mine who's a great recording artist. And if she'd have met your dad, and if you guys meet her, you'll just love her. Sam Rourke is an up and coming kick-ass country singer. She's a friend of mine, and we just love her. And I've asked her, we were going to go ahead and sing together and sing a little bit of Amazing Grace for you. And unfortunately,
thank you. Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
I wanted to sing along with her, but she is now traveling from Nashville to some gigs in Kentucky, I believe. And as a result, she's on the road driving, and she's standing by. Sam, I'm going to bring you on. Here you are. Hey, girl.
Hi, everybody. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Neil.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to tell you I recently lost my mother. It was really unexpected, and sorry, something that really doesn't cut it, but music does. So if it's okay, I'd like to sing for you guys real quick.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And I once was lost, but now I am found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, bright shining as the sun, we've no essayed to sing God's praise. Then when we first begun, 'cause my chains are gone, I and set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me, and like a flood His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace. The earth shall soon dissolve like snow. The sun forbade to shine, and it's God who called me here below, and He'll be forever mine. And you are forever mine. God bless y'all.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
guys for
Thank you
you.
having me
so
out
Thank
much.
you
today.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
And
you.
bless your brother too.
Thank you. Thank you.
You made
That
me.
was beautiful voice.
Thank you
Beautiful.
very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Look, he's crying.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I teared up. I'm a big
Oh, I
baby
love
here.
you, buddy.
I'm so sorry.
That was so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you
Um,
guys
Thank you,
for having
Neil. We
me.
love you.
Love y'all.
Hey, we love you too. And anything you need, please give us a call. And listen, you guys, if you need a place to stay up in New York, I got a big place. I'm right here in Highlands. You can take the ferry into the city, and I'm right at the beach. I'm looking at it.
Aww.
So the door's always
That's
open,
great.
man. I have to tell you, I'm sorry I can't be there. Take care,
All right,
everybody.
man.
Live with
Hey,
Neve.
bless you, Neil.
Wonderful thing to do.